grating a zucchini, as you can see, because doing a zucchini fritter or zucchini burger today. One of our children's a vegetarian, so it helps to have a good supply of vegetarian recipes. And this one has started with a fairly large zucchini that I've just about grated into oblivion. Now, we grow zucchini, but it's not quite the time of year for them to come out in our garden, but today I'll be using pretty well just stuff that's grown in the garden, because why not? You know, if you can have the climate and the time and make the effort to grow your own food, it really is quite marvellous. Also trying to grow tea at the moment, but that's not working so well. Alright, that's enough zucchini. I was never a big fan of zucchini, and still aren't, but various diets have sort of forced me to eat lots of it, and I find this is actually a really nice way to eat it. So, we've got our zucchini there. Now, while I'm in a grating mood, this is a little chilli that I've grown in the garden. It's a really mild one. Don't be deceived by the fact it looks quite bright red. Very mild. I'm just going to grate that in there too. Bit of colour, bit of texture, bit of heat. Not a bad thing. There we go. So we've got a little bit of chilli. Just get all the good stuff out of the grater. There we go. And to that I'm going to add an egg. Not from our own chickens. We're going to be getting our own chickens shortly, but sadly had to buy this. Nice free range one though. Just add a little bit of a mix. Okay, now I'm going to do a bit of grinding now. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to get some lung ching tea. Now this is a Chinese green. It's almost like a Japanese one. It's a little bit grassy, a little bit astringent. Can't say it's my favourite. Bought it because I loved the tin. So I tend to use it in some of my green tea recipes. So I'm going to put a nice generous spoonful of that. Maybe even a little bit more. It even looks a bit more like the Japanese than the Chinese. It has that sort of dried grass look. Okay, and what I'm going to use some cumin seeds, and I'm going to put probably a half teaspoon of those into one of my favourite warming ingredients in any dish. Give this a bit of a grind. Smell that warmth coming off and combining with the tea, and it really is quite a pleasant smell. Put that in there. Looks a bit like dirt when you throw it in, but it does the job. Now I'm going to have a little suggestion here. One of the things I believe very strongly is that you should never buy packet breadcrumbs. I bought a packet from my local supermarket once, and I looked on the back and I had 58 ingredients. Now, if I can buy a loaf of bread that's got 6 ingredients, how can a packet of breadcrumbs have 58 ingredients and have those ingredients have big long chemical names? So I could never do that anymore, buying those, even the cornflake ones, whatever. So I just get my little whizzer thing here and shove a piece of bread in it. And it tends to work beautifully. Just a few bits stuck up the top there. The other benefit, I think, of putting bread through the machine here is that because I tend to use some fairly strong spices at the time, actually, it's not a bad way of actually cleaning it up for the next time I use it. Sometimes you do want spicy, sometimes you want sweet, and a piece of bread is actually the best way of cleaning this sort of device. So, there we go. That is one simple piece of wholemeal bread turned into an amazing amount of breadcrumbs. We've got our egg, we've got our zucchini, we've got our chilli, and it's pretty well doing the job there. Now the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of tea salt, which we've discussed many times, and just for a bit of a change in texture. I've got some of these chard leaves that I picked from the garden, and I'm just going to slice them really, really finely so they make sort of long stringy bits. If I find something like a chard, which is silver beet, or a spinach, if you've got those sort of long strands, it can kind of hold the dish together a bit, but you just want to make sure they're not too big or the dish can sort of fall apart where they join in with it. So, those in there, and our fritter mix is coming out well. Now you can put this on a burger, or as a burger, so add some bread, add some lettuce, a bit of mayonnaise, whatever you like. A nice homemade fruit chutney is probably what I would add if I had it that way. I tend to make nectarine or mango or peach chutney with leftover fruit each summer, so that's probably what I'd put on there. But today I'm going to do it in a little bit of a healthier way, because I'm on a diet and I really shouldn't be shoveling large portions of bread into my mouth, much as it's something I enjoy. So first thing I'm going to do is find my saucepan. There it is. Use my pancake pan, makes it easy, and we'll add a little bit of peanut oil. Turn that up, that's up all the way. Just swish that around a bit. Alright, so embarrassingly there I ran out of room on my little camera. So what's happened in the interim while it's been sorted out is I've just been cooking some of the little zucchini fritters, and now I'm going to show you how I'm actually going to serve them. I've got some more bits and pieces from the garden. I've got some chard leaves, got some lettuce leaves, got some spinach leaves, a little bit of flat parsley. So basically just some greens. I'm just going to lay them out a bit. Okay, now to dress those a little bit, I've got a little bit of sesame oil. I like to make dressings up rather than make them up separately. I like to actually make them up on the salad as such. So we've got a little bit of sesame oil. It's a very strong taste, so you don't need that much. I've also got a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Thought if we're using Chinese tea, we might as well go a bit of a Chinese dressing. And a bit more of that, maybe a teaspoon, there we go. And then I'm just going to add the simplest of seasonings, some pepper and some green tea salt. Well, actually this is white tea salt made with Pai Mu Tan. So there we have slightly salty and peppery and oily and vinegary greens, and on top of that I'm going to pop my zucchini fritters. That one's still cooking, so I'll use the couple that I've prepared earlier. There you go. I think I'll pop a dob of yogurt on top of that, and there it is, a nice healthy lunch, and I'll see you next time.